The Nuggets begin their season tonight. The Broncos got some good news, and the Avs can get to 500 tonight. This is your Denver Sports Daily for October 24th. Let's go.
Taking you through your morning headlines, it's Denver Sports Daily with Rachel V. Hill.
The Denver Nuggets are taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight to open up the season. They are opening with a home opener, but this is the start of the 2024-25 season for the Nuggets. Last year, the Nuggets lost the number one spot to the Thunder, if you remember, after suffering an upset loss to the San Antonio Spurs in a game which, if we won, we would have had the first seed, but we lost, so we dropped to the second. Super unfortunate. But now the Nuggets come into this game as 3-point favorites as a team that they were behind at the seedings in last year. I am so excited. This is the best time of year. I've said it so many times. We finally have Nuggets basketball back. I think that we are going to the championship this year. I would be ecstatic if we could make it to the championship. I think that our championship window is still wide open. I've got so many thoughts on the Nuggets, and I just want to go through with some of them. I think that Russ is a great pickup. I know that our rookies are going to be good, and not rookies, I mean our young guys. Julian Strawther, Peyton Watson, Christian Brown. Those three guys are some of the most important players on this team, and they're going to get out tonight, and they're going to show why they are so important. This is going to be a great game. If you're watching it, it's going to be so much fun to see what the Nuggets do when they're matched up against a young team like OKC, and they're coming out hot. They have a chip on their shoulder after losing in the second round last year. The Nuggets have revenge on their minds this season. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great season. It is finally here. And I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be recapping that game. Hopefully we can get a win, and I'm so high on it. I think that we got it. It's going to be fun. Now, moving on, the Broncos got some good news as they look to get a win against the Carolina Panthers this weekend. Patrick Surtain was put in a concussion protocol after playing only one snap against the Los Angeles Chargers. However, after missing the game against the New Orleans Saints, Surtain practiced with the team yesterday. So he's back on the field, practicing, getting some reps in, kind of starting to get back in the motion. Surtain is still on concussion protocol, but Sean Payton spoke saying it looks positive for Surtain to return against the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are currently one of the worst teams in the league, so the Broncos need to be wary of falling into a trap game. Now, this is where my mind kind of goes, where I think, does Surtain need to play? I don't think he does. If he's still on concussion protocol, it's more effective to keep him out, make sure he's 100% healthy before bringing him into a game that we need him in. The Panthers are not one of my concerns. I think that we can beat them. I know we can beat them. If Surtain comes back, it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a blowout anyways. But we don't need Surtain risking his, health, putting his body on the line against a team like the Carolina Panthers. Again, they're one of the worst teams in the league, and they are switching it up this week too, with Bryce Young is going to be starting because of Andy Dalton, who was recently in a car crash. Everyone was safe, so we're hoping for him to get back healthy and be back with the team. But Bryce Young is being put in the starting position for this game. So it's going to be a bit of a switch. Bryce Young, it's not going to be as hard for him to fit back in because he started all last year and started a few games earlier this season. But still, when the team is rolling with somebody like Andy Dalton, it's different to put in Bryce Young again and make a switch like that, especially, going away, playing the Broncos on the road in Mile High. It's going to be a tough game for the Panthers, and I just think that it's going to be a blowout no matter what. But bottom line, keep Surtain healthy. If he's 100% healthy, sure, play him, get him the reps, treat it like a practice game almost. Keep him like, it's gonna look like that, I feel. But don't play him if he's not 100% healthy, if he's still in concussion protocol, nervous about it. That's just risking an injury to one of the best players, not one of the best players, the best player on our team and one of the best defensive players in the league. So those are my thoughts on that. I obviously want him to come back soon, but I don't think that we need him in a game like this. Now, moving on, despite leaving the last two games with an injury, Travis Hunter is still in the Heisman race. Hunter's been dealing with a shoulder injury, and because of that, he was sidelined both against the K-State Wildcats and the Arizona Wildcats. However, the good news is he comfortably sits still at the 5th spot in the Heisman odds. Kind of crazy, but also not really to me. Like, I think that he is one of the best players in the league. I firmly believe he is the Heisman behind maybe Ashton Genty, but still, you're injured for 2 games. You leave 2 games early, and you're still going to be at the 5th spot. Okay, all right, you guys are still high on Travis. He's going to come out there and he's going to kick some butt and he's going to prove it. He's playing the Cincinnati Bearcats this week. Now, both of these teams are tied up with the same record at 5-2, so it's going to be a dogfight. I was talking about it a bit yesterday. If we want to get to a bowl game, these are the games that we have to win. The hard games, the nitty-gritty games, the ones that's going to be, tough all the way through. And I firmly believe if we can win this, then we can go to a bowl game. But right now, Hunter at 5th in the Heisman odds sits behind Ashton Genty, Cam Ward, Dylan Gabriel, and Cade Klubnik. Those 4 take the spots above him. Now, I believe if Hunter does play this weekend with his injury, he can take over Cade Klubnik and Dylan Gabriel. Taking over that Ashton Genty and Cam Ward, those guys are going to be tough. Those guys are right now dominating the league. Ashton Genty is one of those players that I have never seen in my entire life. He is playing at an unreal level. Unreal level. Like his stats are incredible. I'm looking at his stats and I can't even believe it. And then I realize he's only played 1/2 of the game. Like, what the heck? This guy is incredible. Cam Ward, watching him play is the most satisfying quarterback to watch play that I've ever seen. He moves with such calmness that it's like he's seeing nobody around him and just the receivers out on the field. I remember the first game I watched again, him in, I think it was Florida versus Miami, and he just ran it and was jogging down the sideline and just looking and then ran out of bounds for like a 20-yard gain. And it looked like he was running for 4 yards, but he just like slightly jogged. Those ones are going to be hard to take over. But again, Hunter is expected to play this weekend in an important game. That Bearcats game is going to be important. And if they can win it, he can jump a few spots. But I'm definitely going to be watching that. That game is on Saturday at 8:10 p.m., I believe. Now, moving on, the Colorado Avalanche look to jump to 500 tonight. It's crazy. I was so down on the Avs earlier. After starting the season 0-4, the Avs have now won 3 in a row. And I will say it's been a huge part of that has been Justus Annunen. He has been incredible, at least in these last 2 games, only allowing 3 goals. Now, the Avs take on Utah tonight at 7 p.m., and they hope to get even at 4-4 and treat it as kind of a fresh start. Now, Justus Annunen, I don't want to say anything quite yet about there being a goalie controversy, but there's a goalie controversy. Justus Annunen should be starting. He should be taking over that spot in the net. I don't think Georgiev, at least from what he's shown to me in these few games of the season, he hasn't been successful, and Justus Annunen has. To me, as somebody watching the game, that's all I want to see for the starting spot. Who's successful and who's not as successful. It's a clear discrepancy between these two. There is one that is winning games and one that is losing games. And then you want to talk about how many goals each one is letting up. And Justus Annunen Georgiev was letting up 6 goals a game. And Justus Annunen sure has allowed, I think, 7 goals on the season. But in these past 2 games, he's only allowed 3. So I'm 100% on the Annunen train. I think that's where the Avs need to be. And I mean, he started the past 2 games, that he's most likely going to start tonight. So it seems that they're kind of on the same page as me. But overall, Justus Annunen is winning those games and Georgiev is not. And that is all you need to focus on, at least for me, from a fan standpoint and from somebody who talks on or speaks on the team. What's most important is who is winning games. But that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily today. I am going to be back tomorrow recapping the Nuggets win. Again, this is going to be a game. I'm going to be locked in on the TV for those 2.5 hours. This is my favorite time of year. I love the Nuggets. I love it so much. It's going to be a lot of fun. I do want to read this one right here. Avalanche back on the ice tonight. Is there any information about when Gabe may make it back? All the information that I've heard is that it's not going to be anytime soon. I know that they were kind of comparing it to Lonzo Ball of the NBA, if you're familiar. They both had a similar injury, and they were kind of timing it similar to his. From what I heard, that's what they're doing. And if they are to time it like that, then the most early we can expect Gabe back is December, around there. So it's going to be a while. And again, I don't know if he's going to come back as healthy or as efficient as he was before this, because I mean, at that age, you're taking a hit like that. It's not, it rarely ends up good. But again, I've got hope. I really do. I think that once he gets back from a team standpoint and a leadership mentality, it's a huge deal. But again, I'll keep you updated on that because I'm very, very interested as well. But that's going to do it for your Denver Sports Daily today. I'm going to be back with you guys tomorrow. My last day with you guys tomorrow. I'm going to be recapping the Nuggets win, kind of pre-gaming the Broncos game. We'll go over all of that and then talking about the Avs tonight too. Hopefully they can get to a fresh start at 4-4. That's going to do it, guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.